Okay, guys, welcome back to episode 3, I think it is, of our brand new island survival game series. Today we are going to start working on, actually, we're going to go back to our island and try, and I've changed it. You'll see now when we go back into the game, you'll see that I've completely changed the island. I've also added in some water, but I'll show you how to do that if you are still behind. And then what I want to do in today's episode is go to the asset store if I haven't got any downloaded already, and I want to try and look for a brand new skybox because at the moment, or let's just jump in here and see. So at the moment, you can see that the skybox is quite boring. It's just the default one on Unity. So I want to go and try and change that so we can get a little bit of a darker sky, as well as hopefully getting some clouds in it. We won't use it as a final product. We'll just use it so that this game starts to look better. As well for the water that you can see on the screen now. This is not what we're going to be using in our final game, but I wanted to be able to see the difference between the water and then the actual island. So I've just imported this from the asset store, so we'll use that for now. And also we'll only really change that when we go and start working on the water. So you'll see that if I go out of gameplay mode here, you'll see in our islands, I've completely redesigned it because I thought to myself the first one that I created was way too big. It would have taken you a long time to explore the island. But also in this way now that we've got 3 different islands, you will have to try and make your way to the different islands. Later on in the game series, when we go and implement like health for the player, you won't really be able to swim all the way there because you'll get tired, and eventually, because it's so far, we'll implement something that like kind of stops you and prevents you to do that. So you'll actually have to try and build hopefully a raft or some kind of wooden structure, or maybe you'll implement some trash that you find along the beach coast. You'll have to use these objects and try and build something to make your way to the other islands to try and explore them and just see what's on those islands. So that's the idea of the game. Who knows if we'll ever get to that stage, but we will start by trying to change our skybox. So I'm going to go to the asset store and just look for a brand new asset for our skybox. But before we do that, if you want to use the water asset that I imported, it's just this one. It's the low poly water. It is free, so you can go ahead and download it. All you have to do is you open it in Unity. So you add it to your assets, and then you open it up in Unity. So you import it, and then you should get, I can't remember which one it is of these. I think it's just this one here. But you open it up in Unity, and then once it's in the project, you can just go to click in your hierarchy, and then all you have to do is, once you're in your hierarchy, just go up to game object and then go and add a new poly water. You generate the water plane and you choose what your width and your height, and you go and create it, and then you should get exactly what I have here. You can also change the width, the wave height, and the frequency, which is what I did. And then I also changed on the ocean, which one is it? On one of the materials, I think it was this one, I actually changed the color of it to make it a little bit darker because it was very, very like light and very bright. So I changed it up a little bit just so that it matches my game style, and that gives you our water that we have here. You can see it looks like it's moving. The waves are, when you initially import it and you use it straight away, the waves are quite big, so they'll probably come up from where they are now, like to up somewhere here. So I changed that so they're not so that they're not so big. And then this is what I got. So I changed the color, I changed the frequency, and I changed the height of the waves, and then you get that. So that it's okay for now, but we'll go and change it later on when we start working on actually how the game looks as a final product. But for now, I want to go and try and import a new skybox. So if we look up skybox, I want to look up, do we have any low poly? Okay, so they do have actually, do they? No, low poly. Skybox extended shader. Okay, let's have a look and see what this is. So this, I mean, looks quite good. Yeah, I'm going to import that for now. So we'll use this one. It is free, so you can use it as well. Where'd it go? Just disappeared. Well, that's helpful. Okay, so I'm going to, because I think it's already in my assets saved up in them, I'm going to just look for it. Low poly sky box. That should come up in here. Nope. Let's get rid of that and just search skybox. It's not that one. Yeah, this one. So I'm going to import that. Actually, we need to re-download it. So we'll cancel so we get the updated version if there is any update. Then we'll go and import it, and then we can change our skybox to one that looks a lot better. So import all of that. We probably don't need all of it, but I'm just going to import it because the last time I didn't import it and didn't import everything that was in one of the assets, I got a error message that just kept displaying the same error like multiple times, even if the game wasn't being played. So here we have, where is it? So here are our skybox. So let's save our scene now, and let's go into one of the demo ones. So this is what it looks like in one of the demos. That's the blend. This is the day. It is a little bit. It's not really how I want it to look, but we'll use it for now. And it also moves, so that's quite nice. But let's go back into our main scene. I'm actually going to rename this to game. Reload, and then we can, because there's nothing in here, we can just go and delete that because there's no point in having that. Okay, so in our scene, we can go to, I think it's window, general, no, rendering, lighting. And then in our environment, we can go and change our skybox. So wherever it is, if we go to the one we just imported, which is here, we can try and look for it. If we can eventually find it. Where are the actual skybox? That's the entire scene meshes. No, if we expand this to that, we should be able to see settings, textures. Nope. Actually, is it? It might be this one. So let's go, where's that thing that we had? So in here, we can hopefully drag that into there. No, we cannot. So clearly that doesn't work. I have used these before. Oh, here they are. So let's try that one. I'll try it and see what that one looks like. But it doesn't really look like it matches our water. So, and also it moves way too fast. But it's an option. We could probably just leave it like that for now. Let's go try one of the other ones. Where were we? Window, rendering, lighting. And then in here, let's just try this one. This one looks like it kind of matches the game a little bit more, even though I don't really like this grayish background, but we'll use this one for now. And then we will look for a better one or even make one for ourselves later on in the game. So that's fine. We'll leave that for now. I like the top of it where it's nice and bright, but I don't like the bottom of it where it kind of blends into it like a grayish color. But that's fine. We'll leave that for now. And then let us go and try and see if we can browse the asset store for any trees and stuff. So like palm trees and beach setup game objects. So in here, let's go and say low poly beach. Can we look palm? Look for palms. That's paid. Let's go free and see what we get, because we don't really want to use paid assets at the moment. Nature environment. Tropical island light. So that's kind of what we want. We want those palm trees. What's this one? Palm tree. So I'm going to open up both of these. So we will import this one, download it first, and then import it. And then we'll use our paint texture on our terrain to try and paint some palms into our game. So I'm going to import that one as well as this one. And whatever we don't use later on in the game, we can just go and get rid of. So we'll use both of them and just see which one works and looks better for our game. So out of this pack, for now, we only really want to use the palm trees. Maybe we'll even try and use the, I think that's like a plant or like a shrub or something. And even has, looks like it even has some grass texture, so we can make use of that. But for now, let's move that down to here because that's annoying me. So where are we? Palm tree. Here we have a demo. So let's save this. Oh, it also comes with a skybox, so that's quite cool. So let's open up our demo and see if we play the game, what we get. Okay, so we just get palm trees with their leaves falling off. So that's not really what we want. But we'll give it a try and see what happens if we use it in our main game. So let's go to our assets. So we are currently, where's our player? So we are going to start the game probably on this island here, the main island. Or that could probably be the main island because it's a little bit bigger. But for now, we will start on this island. So let's go and try and paint some trees on here and see what happens. So on our terrain, if we, where is it? Paint trees. Can we add a tree? So we have some palm trees here. Let's add this one. And then we'll add that one. And then you can see that we can paint them on. But let's just play the game now and see what this looks like. So here's our palm trees. We can't really see. Oh, maybe they are. Okay, so it's just because we're quite far away. But here, this is what it would look like. And now that you can see that the island is quite big. And you can walk through them, which is not what we want because we want to eventually be able to cut them down. But this is kind of what it's going to look like. So maybe the island is still way too big. Possibly. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to undo that and I'm going to move our player over to this island where it's a little bit smaller. So over here somewhere. Nope, that's a bit way too far. So we're going to put our player over here. Bring it up there so it doesn't fall through the terrain. So this is where we're going to start the game on this island. And we are going to add some more trees. So our brush size will make it bigger. So something like that. And then we will bring our tree density down so that we don't end up adding in too many. Select our tree and then let's just populate our island like that somehow. Actually, that's not what we really want. We don't really want our island to be full of palm trees. So what I'm going to do, where our player is here, we'll just work on this area for now. So we'll add in some palm trees along the coast, like in batches. So some over here. Where's our player? Our player is over there. Okay. So then we will add in some more trees over here. Put some over here in the corner. Some more, something like that. And then let's just add in another tree type. Make this bigger so you can see them. So what are we using? Well, I think that's the one we've just used. Let's try this one. Add some trees over there. And something like that. Let's play the game and see what that looks like. So we should get some trees. Okay, that's way too much. Where are we going? Yeah, you can see that's a bit too much. So here are our palm trees. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the first type first because you got the coconuts on it and it's kind of the right size. Whereas these ones look a bit too small, but these ones have got colliders on them, so that's good. Can you walk through these ones? You can. So anyway, it's a start. So we'll leave it like that for now. Actually, I'm just going to go get rid of all of those trees that we just done. So we'll undo that. I think that's it. Play the game just so we can make sure we can see that they've gone. All right, so we'll leave that like that. And then let's just do some terrain. So we'll paint some terrain onto our terrain. So we need some dirt. So let's add a layer and then we'll add this one in and then use that and try and paint this on. So we'll give our opacity a little bit more, bring the brush size down a little bit, and then actually we can bring it up a bit more. Actually, we want a random one, so we'll do that, make the brush size a little bit bigger, bring the opacity down. Okay, so now let's paint some of this on, because in the middle of the island we're going to have dark texture, because it's going to be full of trees and like leaves that have fallen down. Eventually, I don't know, we might implement some animals like snakes or something. We'll see how we get along, but we'll add in some texture over here. So this is all just experimenting, and we probably will end up changing everything later on. But I'm going to rotate our player. Wrong way, on the Y. So 90 degrees, just so we can see how our game looks. Okay, let's go 100, just so we can see this area here. Actually, no, instead of doing that, I'm just going to reposition our player entirely into that area. So we'll go put our player over here. So we can see, while we're building it out, what the game actually looks like. Alright, so, I mean, it's not really looking how I want it to look. Maybe that's because the texture on our terrain it doesn't match the overall theme of the game, which is low poly. So we might have to deal with that. But let's go over to these palm trees and just see what it looks like when we've got more gathered together. So the next step in this game series is probably going to be to try and get some kind of textures for the ground, for sand, for example, for the beach sand, as well as more dirt type sand for more inland exploration, just so we can get things to start matching up, because there isn't really much point in making the game with assets that we're not really going to use. So we'll have a look on the Unity asset store for some of those and see what we can find. We might have to pay for some, maybe, hopefully cheap ones, but I'll go and do some research into that, and then we will see what's next. So in the next episode, either if we find some assets or if I find some assets, we'll go and implement those in. But I want to try and get the shape and size of the island down to what really looks good for the game, and not have a massive island. So that, because if we have a massive island, it's going to be very difficult to make it look good. It won't be difficult, it will just take a lot of time, because obviously the bigger the island, the more you have to put on it. So we will go and try, and that's probably something I'm going to do off camera, because you can probably make your island as big as you wanted and how you want it to look like if you're following along with this game. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.